Hi, my name is Larry Staples. Forgive me about anything, peoples, but I want to try to help as many of you understand the truth about God, peoples. I was reading from the book of Matthew where Jesus was speaking about peoples who are hypocrites. Peoples, you might know peoples who might go out into the world who will lie, drink, and do evil to other peoples, and later go back to the church or the synagogues and stand up or sit down and speak of God and try to deceive peoples that they are living a good or perfect life, peoples. But those kinds of peoples might can deceive man, but those kinds of peoples cannot deceive God, peoples, because God knows the heart of peoples who do sin and evil, peoples, or peoples who do right and good, because God knows the heart of all peoples. So, if you can get God's doctrine, what peoples call the King James Version Bible, peoples, and turn to the book of Matthew, chapter 6, for verse 16, peoples, Jesus said this: Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites, which is, do not do the same way that evil peoples do, peoples, when you get ready to pray. Go to God with a clean and pure heart, and when you pray, God will hear your prayer and reward you openly, peoples. That is what Jesus will or wanted the peoples to understand, peoples. Of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. Which is, when people do evil for other people to see what they do, they have already got their reward, peoples. But thou, when thou fast, anoint thine head and wash thy face, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. Which is, the will of God is for peoples to come to him with a pure heart, peoples, and not to do things to be seen in front of men's peoples, but to do things that is right and good to please God, and come to God in the right way with a clean and pure heart and pray to God, and God will reward those peoples openly, where peoples can see that they was blessed by God. Peoples, lay not up for yourself treasures up on earth, where mote and rust do it corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. The will of God was not for peoples to fall in love with earthly things like their house, their car, their money, peoples. Because if peoples fell in love with their house, their car, their money, or some other things in this world, Satan can use those things to tempt peoples with peoples. But if you do not fall in love with earthly things like money, clothes, house, car, businesses, peoples, Satan cannot tempt and deceive you to do evil, peoples. But lay up your treasures, but lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither mote nor rust do it corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Which is the will of God, is for you to build your treasures, a hope for your treasures to be in heaven, peoples. Forgive me, because you cannot build it in heaven, but you can hope for your treasures to be in heaven, peoples, where Satan cannot send peoples to steal the things that God bless you with, peoples, and there will be no reason for you to get angry, peoples, because Satan cannot send peoples to heaven to get the things that God will bless you with, peoples. So build your treasures, forgive me, hope for your treasures to be in heaven, people. For where your treasure is, there was your heart also. Which is, if you love money, cars, houses, rings, and other things, if you love them more than God, that's where your heart is also, peoples. And Satan can tempt and deceive you if you love earthly things, peoples, for to do sin. But if you do not love earthly things, Satan cannot tempt you to do sin and evil, peoples. Again, I will read, for where your treasure is, there was your heart also. Heart be also. And when people say that if their house get destroyed, they done lost everything, because that's where their heart is. They do not